They will know that the Holy Spirit, the whole of the divine Spirit in them, says today, just as it did long ago, that if they hear its voice and harden not their heart, they will find they are the light of the world, and they that follow that light shall not walk in darkness. They will know that they are the door by which all enter into the light of life, and those who will go in and out by that door will find eternal peace and great joy, and will discover that now is the accepted time. They will find that the Christ but opens the door to their own souls, and the Spirit that dwells therein is the all-potent alchemy, as limitless as the universe of God is limitless. The alchemy will dissolve and transmute all manner of sickness, will erase clean the mortal life of guilt and the effects of sin, will illuminate the soul with the perfect light of wisdom, will emancipate form and dissolve the darkened conditions of human life into the perfect light of life. Thus they will see they are not only children of nature, but children of God as well. They will bring forth the absolute perfection of the individual, and thus will perfect the race. They will bring forth the ideal and the divinely inspired prophecy concerning the final destiny of man here on earth, the identity of Father and Son, which is the second birth, the perfect mastery of man over every condition and circumstance. Here Jesus paused, and the lights became brighter and brighter. Then pictures began to appear. The scenes were glorious bursts of splendor. The pictures would come on, a transforming hand would reach out and touch them, and they would develop into a great whole and become beautiful. There came on a great war scene. We saw men struggling and fighting against each other. The cannons were belching forth flames and smoke. Shells burst overhead, and among the great throng and men were falling on every hand. We could hear the roar and din of battle. Indeed, it was so real that it seemed certain a battle was in progress. But as the transforming hand reached out and over it, all became calm in an instant. As those who had been fighting so furiously but a moment before looked up, the hand traced in flaming letters that seemed to spread over the whole scene, "Peace, peace, the blessed peace of God surrounds you. You can only hurt and destroy the mortal, but one of God's own you cannot destroy, and you are all his own children. You can neither hurt nor destroy each other." Then for a moment it seemed that men were again determined that the struggle should proceed. This determination showed on many faces, especially those of the leaders. But it appeared that the more determined they became to go on, the less cause there seemed to be for a display of force. It also seemed that the more they attempted to discharge the weapons of destruction, the less effect they had, for try as they would, not a weapon could be used. Then the hand went on to trace, "Behind every cloud or storm of war, if men will only look, they will find God. They will find that God did not create the clouds of storm or war, that man created them. And if they will look beyond and see, they will always find God's hand upraised in peace. War is not sent or ordained by God. When men war with each other, they are entirely outside of God's province or power. They are entirely immersed in a man-made realm where God cannot interfere in any way, and they will be obliged to go on in this way until they see the fallacy of such strife. If one is sufficiently strong in his realization of God's power, knows his ability to cooperate with that power, and does cooperate, he can stop a war instantly, just as you saw it stopped in this picture." Then Jesus continued, "I chose the way of the cross. It was not my Father's choice for me, but my choice, that all might see they can so perfect the life and body that although it be destroyed, it can be rebuilt and become more triumphant." The lights grew even brighter until every vestige of limitation had disappeared. Not a wall surrounded us, not a roof overhead, not a floor beneath. We all stood together in boundless space. The 12 disciples came and arranged themselves near the great Master, but did not surround him, for his presence stood out far more prominently than any other, with a never-to-be-forgotten brilliance and purity. The invisible choir boomed out, "His kingdom is here, for, of, and among men, now, henceforth, and forever. One man, one God." The transforming hand again appeared and traced the words, "His kingdom is here now, among men, henceforth, forever. One man, one God." Then directly over Jesus' head were traced the words, "All for one, one for all." Buddha then appeared, standing at Jesus' right. The priest and Emil walked to them and knelt before them. Emil at Buddha's right, and the priest at Jesus' left. Jesus clasped Buddha's partly upraised hand. They raised their free hands until they were over and just above the heads of the two who were kneeling, and said, "Peace, peace, peace. A glorious peace rests over all. We receive you, our dear brothers, into the great council of God's beneficent love, and that love and fellowship includes the whole world." Then all those assembled bowed their heads and made way as the four passed through the assembly. As they passed, the disciples and a number of those assembled followed, and all passed on until they disappeared from our vision. When they had begun moving through the assembly, the invisible choir had chanted, "We make way for these mighty brothers of love, for that love, the might love of God, redeems and unites all mankind in the great council of God's love, the brotherhood of man and God." As they passed from view, the great bell boomed out 12 strokes. Then, for a moment, the bells pealed a merry refrain, and thousands of voices joined in. "We bring the glad new year and a brighter day for all the world." Our second year with these great souls had closed.